Good morning and welcome to Rose Red Homestead. A couple of weeks ago we did a video on no-fail dinner rolls. Light, airy, delicious, and absolutely no fail if you follow the methodology. I promised in that video that we would come back in a couple of weeks and show you how versatile that recipe can be. I love versatility, especially in bread recipes. If the time ever comes when we're just all on our own with what we have and things are not readily available for us to run to the grocery store and get, we just might want to have a very versatile bread recipe that we have perfected our own methodology on, that we can make such things as hot dog buns, hamburger buns, and hoagie rolls. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. So here is a batch of our no-fail roll dough. And I'm going to link the video that has the recipe to the end of this video. Now, you may notice that this one is a bit taller than the one in that video, and that is because it's the same recipe, but I did a recipe and a half because I want a few more buns available this time. And so just know that this is the very same recipe. Jim and I really love the buns made with this recipe. They hold together. We had hot dogs the other day. I put sauerkraut on mine, and we used regular grocery store buns because I was out of these. And the sauerkraut, even though I tried to get all of the moisture off of it, just leaked straight through the bun and it just fell apart. Buns from this recipe don't do that, which is fantastic. So I'm going to, first thing we want to do when you have when you take the dough out of its bulk fermentation is to weigh it. Okay, this is 1,900 grams. Now the original recipe, as I have weighed it before, is about 1,300. So with 1,900, I'm going to make about 800 for hoagie rolls. Let's see if I can just guess here. Well, not too bad. So here is 800 grams of dough that I'm going to put under this stainless steel bowl so that it will not get too dried out. So that gives me about 1,100. Now, on the recipe, many of you have already copied and pasted that recipe and probably have it in the bread cookbook that I showed in that video. You've added it to that binder that you have that book in. You will notice at the bottom when it says variations that hot dog and hamburger buns take between 90 and 100 grams of dough. And then hoagie rolls, about 6 inches. It says 6 inches, but they really turn out to be about 7 inches. Take about 200 grams. So we're going to be making 4 hoagie buns, and usually I will use one batch to make all of one kind. But I want to show you the shaping of these 3 different things. So I'm going to cut this dough into 100 gram pieces so that we can get to shaping our hot dog buns and our hamburger buns. So give me just a minute to do that and I'll be right back. So I have a dozen pieces right here that are between 90 and 100 grams. Most of them are between 95, all of them are between 95 and 100. I pretty much like 100 grams. And what I do is I just stretch the dough out into a rectangle for hot dog buns until I get it just about the right length for a hot dog. Now these of course are going to rise, and so we can account for that in the size that we make. And then starting at one end, one long end, I just carefully roll these. And I try to put a little tension on them so that they're not getting air pockets in them. And when I have my little log, then I will roll it and kind of even out the distribution of the mass. And finding the seam, I put the seam down. So I think I'm going to do about 6 of each. So one more hot dog to show you, and then I'll show you how I do the hamburger buns. And of course, these are not as uniform as those that you get in the grocery store, but boy, they're a whole lot better. And practice makes perfect. So as I continue to make these hot dog buns, I get better at it each time I do this. I just kind of tuck in those corners and roll them. Seam goes down. Let's do some hamburger buns. So I treat hamburger buns just like I do rolls. I bring the edges into the center, pinch them kind of together there, and then I roll it under my hand. Oh, this is greasy. I like it to be not greasy. Oh, there we go. There's a place where the dough is just really rolling under my cupped hand. And then when I get it in nice and shaped, then I'll just push down with my hand or with my bench scraper. And place them. Now, when they get to the point where we're just about to put them in the oven, you can also add sesame seeds if you want to. I do an egg wash, and then we can scatter sesame seeds on them if you like sesame seeds on your hamburger buns. Now, I am doing these buns first for a very particular reason, and that is that we do a couple of special things with the hoagie buns that takes a little bit of extra time, and I don't want them all ready to put in the oven at the same time, so I'm delaying the hoagie buns. Oh, these are the best buns. Now you may notice that I have double sheet pan right here. The reason for that is that this isn't glass. With glass, I don't have to do this. But if I just use a single sheet pan, then things burn on the bottom. But that little extra airspace keeps it from burning. Now I'm going to finish these, and we'll come back when they're all done, and I'll show you what comes next. These are shaped, and they got dried out. So I'm just going to give them a little tiny spray of water, and then I'm going to enclose them in this grocery bag. And we're going to set these aside until they are double. Okay, now for the hoagie rolls. Okay, this is my Pyrex dish. It's probably 30 years old. It has a little chip out of one side, but it's not a sharp chip for some reason. So I just keep using it. Jim says we need to get another one. But I have used this off and on for 30 years, and I haven't used it for a while. But it's going to work for our hoagie rolls. Now this is still nice and soft and moist, very supple. So I'm going to just divide this into 4 pieces at approximately 200 grams each. Okay, so we have them weighed out. So you might notice if you've printed out the recipe or if you've looked at the recipe that I give some alternative instructions for hoagies to make the buns a little bit more authentic. But I tried that once and it was okay, but the regular recipe does a beautiful job of hoagie rolls, so I don't even bother to change the recipe anymore in terms of the ingredients. But because we want the hoagie rolls to have a crusty top and we want that slit along the side, these are going to take a little bit longer to rise, which is good because I want those to go in the oven, the rolls to go in the oven first and be done, and then we'll do the hoagie rolls. So with the hoagie rolls, it just is about the very same as shaping a hot dog bun, except you are working with more dough. And we want to make them just a little bit longer. Some people like giant hoagie rolls, like the kind that you get at the sandwich shops. I can't possibly eat one of those. Jim can eat one of those, but I can't. And so I do about a 6-inch hoagie roll. And so this is what we do. We get it in that rectangle, and then we roll it tightly. I just stretch and pull a little bit. And then I like to just roll to smooth out that top. Pinch the seam together, poke the ends in as needed. Kind of tip the ends a little bit, meaning form a tip, and then I'm going to put it right here. So there's one. I should have been keeping the extra roll dough under here as well so that it didn't dry out the way that it did, but it will be fine. With that extra water I just sprayed on there, just a little mist. All right, we'll come back when we're finished with these. All right, these are soft and supple, so they do not need a little spray of water. Let's see if I can get this to go on this way. I think it will. It does. So I'm going to put these in the refrigerator, only for about 15 or 20 minutes because I want to slow the rising time down. I don't want these to be ready for the oven while these are in the oven. So I want to be able to take them out and finish the rise and then put them in just at the right moment. So these are going in the refrigerator. These we're still waiting on, and we will be back when we're ready to put these in the oven. Well, here we are. The buns are ready to go. And so I'm going to just brush them with this egg wash. And it is 1 egg with about a tablespoon of water beaten. And I'll do this to all of the buns. But I'm going to stop right here and show you what else we can do if desired. And that is we can sprinkle sesame seeds on the top. I have some roasted sesame seeds somewhere, but I'm in the process of reorganizing my kitchen, and of course I can't find them. So I'm just using these. So I'm going to finish brushing these with the egg and then get these in the oven, and we will come back when we're ready to take them out of the oven. Meanwhile, I have taken the hoagie rolls out of the refrigerator, and they are over in the windowsill warming up and rising so that they should be ready to go in not too long after we take these out of the oven. So I'll see you when these are coming out of the oven. Well, the buns are just about ready to come out of the oven. They're just finishing up their browning, but these are ready to go, and we need to do what we need to do to finish them off. Now, one of the things about hoagie buns is that we need to put a really nice crispy crust on the top. And we do that by the use of steam. In the bottom of the oven, I have another pan that looks just exactly like this. It's a foil pan, and these are lava rocks. And I just keep that pretty much in the bottom of my oven all the time because I, from time to time, I don't like to get it out every time. It just sits there, and then when I need it, I have it right there to use. So then when we get ready to put these in the oven, I will drop about a cup of ice right in that pan that's in the oven, and that will produce steam long enough to steam this crust and get it a nice crunchy crust. So we're going to go ahead and do this egg wash, and then I don't have one of those fancy bread design cutter dough things. I just have a very sharp serrated blade. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going in at a 45-degree angle on the side of these buns, and I'm cutting down about 1/4 of an inch, just like that. And this works just fine. I like the cut on the side. You can do it across the top if you like. You can put it anywhere you want to, of course. Okay, these are ready to go in. I'm actually just going to brush those with a little bit of the egg wash. And those will expand in order to let the steam out. Okay, let's check our buns. Here they are. Now I am going to increase the heat here to 400 degrees. And that's going to take just a couple more minutes to preheat, because I want that nice hot oven for these buns. So let's take a look at these. These just turned out beautiful, and I still need a lot of practice. These hot dog buns are just about the right size. They look beautiful. They're a little bit larger than store-bought buns. We love these buns because they'll hold a lot of toppings for hot dogs, and the same here too. With these hamburger buns right here, we have things in our canned goods out in the home canned things. We have pulled pork, we have let's see, in our freeze dried we have barbecued chicken, we have a lot of flaked meat, plus we have regular hamburgers, all kinds of things that we can use, a sloppy joe mix that we can use these buns for. And we're to the point where we don't even like to buy the store-bought stuff anymore unless I just don't have time to bake, because these are they are wonderful buns. They're sturdy, and yet they're soft and delicious, and but they hold fillings really well, and they don't fall apart. So this is great. We'll add these, and I freeze these, and we just pull them out as needed. So these are going to go in, and you can seed these if you want to. I usually don't seed the hoagie rolls. And we will be back then when these are ready to come out of the oven. So we will see you soon. Here are these beautiful hoagie rolls. Are they just magnificent? Listen to the crust. So it has that nice little crunch on the crust, and the bottoms are, of course, cooked in glass, so they're beautiful. The bottoms over here are also pretty good. They're lightly browned because we doubled the baking sheets to keep those from burning. But I just love these hoagie rolls. Here are these beautiful rolls, 3 different types: the hot dog buns, the hamburger buns, and the hoagie rolls. And they just turned out fabulous. Isn't it wonderful that we can have this kind of a variation with one single recipe once we really learn and perfect the methodology for doing it? It is a real time saver to be able to have this type of versatility and don't have to have 3 different recipes for doing all of this. So I think this is a wonderful addition to our food security efforts and to our food storage efforts, because the ingredients here they're everything that we already have. And if we don't have fresh milk to use in this recipe, we can use powdered milk, and we can store plenty of powdered milk to do that. So I hope you enjoy this versatility. Let us know what you think, and if you try these, let us know your success. So thank you so much for being with us for this video, and we will see you again very soon for more just like it.